welcome back, one and all, to the channel Jamaican Redneck. Now, we not go tell us we not go always do about gun thing, right? So, today's project, I have a chainsaw. It was a very windy day the other day, so some of the trees, the branches in the backyard came down. So, what we're going to attempt to do today is to change the chain and my neighbor's chainsaw. Apparently it's a 16-inch 40mm electric chainsaw. However, for some reason when I try to put on the chain, it appears that the this section here, the arm, is much longer. Welcome back, one and all. Friendly Jamaican Redneck. So, for today, we're not going to do no guns. We don't need to tell us that every single project relating to firearms. So, for today, there was a heavy wind the other evening, and a lot of branches were blown down in the backyard. So, you know me, as I always say, I like to be conservative and do as much as I can to minimize what I have to pay out for. So, my neighbor have a saw, but the blade needs to be changed. So, we buy a new blade for it, it's 16 inches, but apparently upon buying the blade, we realize for some reason the 16-inch blade can't fit. Let me kind of give a small demonstration of that. So, if you look here, there's no way I can get the blade onto this sprocket, right? Because this piece, for some reason, is too long. So you can't see what's inside there if you don't used to it. Sprocket this slide up, but it's too tall. So each time I try to fit it, I just can't get it on. But the whole blade fit, which is ironic. We don't know where that comes from. So what I'm under the impression that is somebody at some point jerry-rigged this chainsaw and replaced this arm here, if we can call it that for now, our guide, if you will. So what it is, I think this is an 18-inch guide. Problem. Here's a guide pin that holds the guide from moving. So once I modified it, that guide pin didn't align anymore. So I have to jump to hole faithful here to get some precision hole drilled into it to show exactly how this thing going to put back together. Okay, so I have one more hole to drill. I'm just enlarging the hole, and to make it precise, I take it into stages. I'm not just jumping right to the size because sometimes the drill wobbles, and you have to make sure this have to be precision. It might seem simple on a chainsaw, but have to be precision. So just have to enlarge the hole one more time, and we're good to go. Should be it. Next process is to clean it up. So here's the original guide hole, and here's the one that I just made. So we're going to deburr it, and then we should be good from there. All right. For the moment of truth, we're going to test it to see if it runs. I fully assembled it and got the lock pin inside it. So let's see. Alright, so it runs. So moment of truth, we're going to cut this piece of log here to test it and see if the modification worked. worked. It's alive. Now we're ready for the moment of truth. What tools of trade we need? Need a Phillips screwdriver, adjustable screwdriver, and you kind of still need to keep your file around just in case you miss a spot in the deburring process. So moment of truth, I'm going to try to assemble this thing and get it to work. So first I drop it over the sprocket and voila, as you can see, it worked. It fits now. So I have to put in this screw right here to secure the guide. To the saw, and also to keep a little tension on the blade while I try to fit it in. All right, so there you go. Yeah, fits. All right, so before I completely tighten the guide, I have to go in, put a slight tension on the blade. Not going to put too much tension. I think that should be enough. Right, don't want to make it too tight, and then you tighten down on this bolt to secure the blade. One more piece and we're ready to go. There's a cover that comes with it that we have to secure to make this tool safe. Again, it's all about safety and making sure you protect yourself and others around you. So I'll put the guide back on and then give it a quick test, just to see if everything come out as we expected it to. Not going to clamp down too tight right now, just in case we have to take it back apart and kind of touch up the guide a little bit. I'll just nip it down and let's see how she runs. Alright, so the first part of the process, as I mentioned earlier, is to chop the guide in order for it to fit. So I'm going to use this chop saw. I'm going to make a little noise, so bear with me anyway. Alright, I think that should be enough. Now what I'm going to do is use a grinder to deburr the edges and try to fit the blade. Stay tuned. Once we cut off the necessary amount that we need off the guide, I'm just going to use this file, you see here, and break the sharp edges. It's important to break the sharp edges because you don't want the edges to interact either with the saw itself or interact by cutting yourself with these sharp edges. When you use a chop saw to grind metal, the edges can come out pretty. So, to be safe, break the edges. So you can see now I can run my finger all the way around and everything is okay. I think that should be enough for us to begin the assembly process. Okay. Alright, we'll come back one and all to another Jamaican redneck video. Now for today I did touch on the fact that when I started the channel that we're not going to just focus on firearms. A lot of things we would do, repair stuff and all that. So over the past few days it's been very windy. There's been a bunch of limbs that blew down in the backyard. So I borrowed my neighbor's saw, but however the blade, this is the old one, was dull. It's a 16-inch, 40mm. However, once I try to get it on, for some reason it won't work. So we got a brand new blade, but the blade won't fit. That comes for this saw. So the intent now is, if you look here, you can see here the sprocket. It can't fit the sprocket because this guide is too long for the chain that came with it, for it. So I think that somewhere along the way someone modified it and changed this guide just to allow it to use the chain that they had available at the time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to modify this arm by chopping about 1/2 inch off and checking it again. So what I'm going to use to do that is this chop saw. Once I complete that, I'm going to clean up the edges, break the edges, deburr it, and try it again, and then start chopping up some of this. So stay with me. Thanks.